Remember, the legal experts from Benson Case are in our help center all morning. They want to answer your questions and offer help if you've suffered a life-changing injury. Call them at 303-218-BEST, 303-218-2378. Let's learn more about how Benson Case is helping Coloradans. With us right now is our attorneys John Case and Carrie Jones. Welcome to the show. John, your firm specializes in so many different cases. Why don't you tell me some of the different cases that you do handle?
Well, we handle life-changing injuries and wrongful death cases. So if you have a loved one who's passed away because of somebody else broke the law, or if somebody in your family's had a serious injury or you've had a serious injury, we can help you.
Yeah, there's really a variety, right, Carrie? It's not just the car accidents or if a slip and fall. You guys really go beyond that.
Yeah, there's a spectrum, and we really take the time to listen to everyone's stories and try and find a way that we can help them.
Yeah, and we decided to have one of your clients today tell the story for himself. We're going to be talking about his case in just a few minutes.
I was working late one evening. It was a Friday evening, and I was supposed to meet someone over at the Claim Jumper for dinner at 6 o'clock.
This 17-year-old made a left turn and T-boned him at high speed, and he fractured his skull, had a brain hemorrhage. He was in the hospital 14 days.
After taking the initial hit, I ran into that particular pole, and the pole came down and smashed my head. Well, I was comatose when they took me in to Swedish, and I think I woke up approximately about 48 hours later.
And he had no memory of the incident. And so he was in very bad condition.
And I, at that time, was running a company, and I really was impaired quite a bit, that I couldn't go in there and supervise my employees and stuff like that. Of course, when you're out of action, you have bills piling up and things of that sort.
When he went back to work in about 60 days, he had the experience of going to his office and turning on his computer and looking at the screen and not being able to recognize any of the data. And he was very frightened. And he called me that day and told me what had happened.
I could see that his heart was so big that he really wanted to help, even beyond the scope of, let's say, being an attorney or the legal aspects.
An injury can happen to anyone. And, you know, a lot of our clients have never been in a lawsuit. They've never filed a claim. They're just driving down the street or doing their job, and all of a sudden some careless person causes a life-changing injury. And when you have that happen to you or someone you care about, you should call Benson Case. We can help.
If I would have been a citizen up against, it would have been the David and Goliath.
Wow, serious brain injury got in the way of life. It sounds like you guys were really able to help him get his life back. That's what it's all about. Right, John?
Right, we did. We settled with the driver pretty quickly. Taking her deposition, it was apparent she was working for an employer at the time. We sued the employer, went to Kansas City, took the deposition of the boss, and eventually got Tom a settlement from that policy as well. So it covered his losses for the business revenue that he had lost and the time that he had lost from work. He eventually got his company back, and he lost his pilot's license as a result of the skull fracture and the brain hemorrhage that he had had. But 5 years later, he got his pilot's license back.
That's great. You guys help people move on with their lives. It's so much more than just settling a case. And he had so many medical issues to deal with. What did he face in the legal system?
Well, he had to sue in order to get what was coming to him, because unfortunately, when people are hurt, the insurance companies do everything they can to make sure you don't recover. So it takes a good lawyer to get you the compensation that you deserve.
So what was the final outcome? Happy ending?
We settled with, yeah, it was a happy ending. We settled with both the driver and with the employer's insurance company. And Tom, because of the hard work that he did in rehabilitation, got his health back.
That's great. Now, real quick, we've got about a minute left. You also helped a family recently whose family member was shot. Really serious case here. Tell me about that one.
Well, this gentleman was a 7-Eleven clerk, and there was a person who lived nearby who was under the care of a mental health center, and the court had ordered the mental health center to do certain things to protect the public.
Right.
And they didn't do any of them. And this man began hearing voices and went into 7-Eleven and shot this gentleman and killed him. And we represented his parents, and the jury returned a multi-million-dollar verdict for the parents.
Wow, that sounds very familiar, the Aurora shooting tragedy. You guys handle it all. So call the experts from Benson Case right now. They're answering your questions, and the number is 303-218-BEST. It's 303-218-2378. And when they're not in our help center, you can reach Benson Case at 303-867-7600 or find them online at bensoncase.com. And they are legal experts on our sister station, Fox 31 as well. So you can also find them by clicking the Ask the Expert tab on kdvr.com. Coming up,